Hey y'all, what's up? So let me tell you what happened in a session where I was facilitating a session on difficult dialogues. And an individual in that particular session decided they weren't going to participate. We were in a maybe 20-person session. We had people in a horseshoe formation. I was presenting, asked people to come into the circle, facilitate, etc. And facilitating gradually more complex conversation. Everything from the topic of what is professionalism into deeper topics such as the more recent Supreme Court decisions and things that have been systematic for years, racism, sexism, etc. This was a graduated process. And this was an individual who happened to present as a white woman who, for 2.5 hours, was playing on her iPhone, right? So that's what happened during the first session. And I could tell, and people named it and called out, there were people in the room who were resistant, right? And I knew exactly who they were referring to. All right, so that was the first session. But then the next session after that, as an adept facilitator that's paying attention to context clues and also nonverbal communication, I, as the facilitator, get to decide what's going to be the format, right? So I get to decide whether this is going to be a popcorn approach where people can just pop into the conversation, or this will turn into a round robin conversation where we will go around the line each and every time and each person will need to participate in the conversation. Or if it gets to a level of egregiousness, thinking about the context, whether this was a mandatory session or whether it was a voluntary session, if there is someone based on their resistance, even if silent, are creating a hostile learning environment for other people, I can very politely, without embarrassing them, ask them if they choose to stay and participate or if they choose to leave. Because staying and not participating is exactly contrary to why we need these sessions in the first place. So my point around all that is make sure that when you get into very difficult conversations, have someone that's a good facilitator that picks up on these cues, but also contain, manage, really, let's just keep it at contain because I don't want to sound too hostile, but you need to do something with your resistors and be prepared to do something with your resistors because why? They're always there, always.